Oh, welcome, YouTube friends. Good to see you all. Thanks for coming out. All right, let's see. Let me get this over here. There we go. Boom. So, it's Friday. Hope you guys had a good week. I've had a fun week. I've had a full, rewarding week, I hope. Have you considered giving races their own mastery tree branch? No, actually, we have not. Races definitely are going to be getting their own passive, like, traits and things like that. Game? Well, we all know the game's soon out there. Hold on. Let's just wait till we get in and get all this, Sorry, guys. Sorry. All right. We're good. We're good. We're gonna get where we need to get. We're gonna get there. We're close. We're almost there. We're almost there, guys. Hold on. Just get all of our... Cannot wait to get that fixed, huh? Goodness gracious. Okay. What's up, Rosan? Good to see you. Guts Rage, welcome. Yep. Late stream. The Rushao, good to see you as well. Shocklin Zace. Hey, Bituminous, good to see you. Trevane. Welcome, Trevane. Sorry for the loudness. Absolute Hermit. The Super Chin. Whatever degree any of you were doing something like super cozy before, this is your wake-up call, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Input. Let's get this where we need it to be. Just right barely above that. That's perfect. So, level 19, I think what we need to do is, oh wait. Did I invoke my stuck bind cooldown by using stuck? I did, didn't I? Yo, what's going on, Kronzik? Question for you, Joppa. You mentioned a while back that there was an area of wildbloods that has not been found. Is that true? I need to check on that, actually. It's been a minute, and it's possible that that could have changed since I said that. So I don't want to go on record until I know for sure. Feels scary. Might need to do a train to zone, yeah. I cannot believe. Man. That stinks. Surprise stream? Yeah. Let's see if we can make it to the zone. Guys, let me know the audio if it's too quiet. Oh, let me get my stamina back up. Wait. I want to be at full stamina before we do this. Game volume's loud, really? Goodness. Okay, I'm gonna turn. You guys tell me when the volume to you is at a good spot. Let me know when it's at a good spot. I'll cast some spells and stuff to kind of. Because once we get it to a good spot for you guys, I'm going to bump up the monitoring on my end so I can hear it a little better. That's probably good. All right. Let's run. Hi-ho! If I had my energize buff, I could probably, whoop. Okay, don't get exhausted, don't get exhausted. Don't do it. Woo. Go, 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 go. I can see the gate. I can see the gate. Yeah, our work here is done. Our work here is done. That was a choice crit, indeed. Choice. Yo, Kronzik with the 10 stream streak. Nice, nice, nice. Who wants to press down into Halnir Cave with me? Who's up for it? I want to get to ghosts. You have the opportunity to group with what might be... Well, who am I kidding? What is undisputedly the #1 cleric on the server. So, you know. It's up to you. How many times does that opportunity come around? You know? Just saying. 25 monk would be great, yeah. Yeah. Come on down, Lumpy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We'll take a 25 druid, yep. Not that not that it's needed, but it's nice to have, you know what I mean? You know. The graphics in this game keep getting better. They do indeed, and it's only going to improve. Only going to improve. Lumpy. Glorf. Just having a friendly chat. Having a friendly chat. Take my buffs before you leave. Do I mind if I stream your stream audio over your stream? Not at all, Glorf. Go for it. Yeah, I should be able to get my corpse back. Okay. Should be able to. Is there a timeline on when we might see some of the other races, like Gnomes, Arkai, Scar? Be on the lookout for info and updates related to that. When we start talking about the latter half of the year. Oh yeah, got it. I'm gonna grab my corpse real quick, and then I'll be headed straight to Halnir. How big is the world expected to be by 1.0 compared to now? Well, hold on, let me... Oh my... how big is it supposed to be compared to now? So, quite a bit bigger. So like right now we've got we are going to be doing Fairthale, South Sail, and Baywood as definite King's Reach zones. We've got two other continents. We've got Rainfall and Whitethaw, and we have 3 starter areas on each of those, and then we have a good handful of zones outside of those starter areas for each of those continents. So I mean, the world needs to at least what is that, like a 4 or 5x what it is right now for launch? I feel like I'm being a little bit messy with those numbers, so it may not be exactly what it is. Might be a little less, a little more, but yeah. But keep in mind too that like even with the zones that we have now, some of them, like Eastern Plains, are really, really light on content. There's actually quite a bit more content we have planned for Eastern Plains. And so even what we have now, there will be a little bit more. The world will, even what we currently have, will feel like it grows a little bit more when we flesh out some of the rest of that stuff. Don't the dwarves and gnomes share a starter zone? They do. They do indeed. Okay, I see. Okay, I see what you guys were saying now. Population 1, twice a week. Come on now. Come on now. All right, we got room for 2 more. 2 more. Oh, we haven't been going long, Snickerdoodle. Haven't been going long. This was a little bit of a sneak attack stream. I had wanted to do a Friday stream, and with the way the day went, I didn't get to herald it like I had wanted to, because I wasn't exactly sure if it was going to work, but it did, and here we are. Here we are. Okay, let's see who's looking for group. Probably don't want another druid. We do have a... They're looking for more. Don't need a cleric. Actually, I have quite a few healers on right now. There's a necro. Empress, do we want to see if we can get... No, I didn't ask how often you get to play with a dev. I asked how often do you get to play with the #1 cleric on the server. There's a big difference. Big difference. What are the faces in the mountains of the Eastern Plains? That's the right question to be asking. Okay. We need some CC, so I'm gonna see if this necromancer wants to join us. We're looking to do Hound Hair Ghost, need CC, interested. See. So kind of odd question maybe, but might we see some changes to class race matrix with classes being expanded with masteries? Probably not. At least not at this time. Not at this time. Yo, really excited to get Pantheon hearing good things. Keep up the amazing work. Nice. The stars aligned. Good to see you, by the way. That's awesome to hear. That's awesome to hear. Very cool. Very cool. I'm interested to see how long it takes you guys to find Nightfall Crypt. That's going to be interesting to see. I feel like it's one of those things that you guys might find it, you know, within the first hour or less, but it could also be, you know, days. It's hard to tell. Let's okay, I didn't get a response from the necro. We got 2 spots to fill. It would be great to have CC. If there's any enchanters in the crowd, feel free to let me look beyond just AVP as well. I mean, we could take another druid. I just feel like... Hey, Mina, get in here. Nice. Okay, cool. Yes, Charm will... I think Charm will probably bring a lot of enchanters out of the woodwork. Yo, what's up, Chris Frozen? Good to see you. Very good to see you. What is the plan for short duration enchanter pet? It adds great flavor to CC Arsenal, but a bit crazy OP right now. Yes. Yeah. It's going to change pretty substantially in terms of how powerful it is. It is meant to function the way that it does now, but it's meant to be the kind of thing where right now, as soon as you cast that thing, it just grabs a crazy amount of threat right out of the gate. With the changes that we make to it, it's going to be more, it's going to need to build threat over time. So you'll want to send it in, you know, for CC, you know, first thing and grab the attention of the target and let it build threat for a little bit. So it's going to be about letting it build threat, but it's also going to have much less health. And so it'll be the kind of thing where you need to balance essentially how long you let it, how long it can go before it gets eaten up. So it's just not meant to. It's not meant to generate as much like front end threat and be as like sturdy as it is currently. But it's definitely meant to be an additional part of the Enchanter arsenal if you're dealing with something that's like Iron Willed, or if you're eating up too much mana through multiple mezzes, things like that. So, am I locked in? I have my pen and paper. Wait a second. Okay, Joppa, are you locked in? I have my pen and a pad at the ready. Show me how true master plays cleric. Yeah, you're about to see it. I'm locked in. I'm always locked in. Always. Mastery is my most looked forward to feature. It's one of mine as well. And the programmer that we have working on it most directly right now is like super passionate about this system and how it works and the player experience for it. So I'm really pumped. Can't wait. Cannot wait. Yeah, I would definitely say that the Nightfall Crypt is a little hidden. Yeah. There's Mezzina. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pass you, leader. Just, we're going to get that out of the way early. Hey, Jai Lewis, good to see you. Greetings from the land of morning calm again. Nice. Level 22. What do we have here? Is this the Dire Lord? Yeah. We do not have a 6th incoming yet. Not yet. Will it be more difficult for summoner soloing after update since I no longer get Titan Tank Pet? I'm going to say absolutely not. No, I think summoners will be even better soloing. There's a 21 wizard looking for group. Oh, yeah. The other continents aren't on the website currently. No, they're not. We do have a map that... Let me see if I can find it real quick. It's more of an illustrated kind of map. But it's still pretty representative. This is way old. Wow. But we have, I mean, this is a very old map, but it's still really pretty darn representative. So you got Thronefast into Avenir's Pass, Silent Plains, Fairthale, Veywood, South Sail. You have the Port of Rulon here. This is now Eastern Plains. Instead of the Steppes of Rulon, this is Eastern Plains. We still plan for Vale of Azarus here. We got Wild's End here. And then you've got the Rones up here in the north where the Silent Sanctum is. And then over here is Rainfall, where you've got Broken Maw, the Ogre starting area here. Cognizance to the south of that. Valley of the Watchmen is kind of the Silent Plains of Rainfall. It's kind of that middle, largest kind of land section. You've got Scargol here for the Scar, the Darkmer starting area here, and there's obviously a couple things not accounted for on this map, but this is still very accurate in terms of like the layout of Rainfall and all that. What we don't have a map for right now is Whitethaw. So how big are the servers? If you mean like how many people are going to be playing on a server, what we can I mean, we can hold a very large amount of people on our servers. The goal is going to be... Oh, Outweigh is not able to do it. We're still looking for one more. I'm crashing the server. Oh, well, I'm crashing the server apparently. Yeah. We will eventually do sharding, and we'll do sharding and layering more on like a zone basis instead of a server basis. That's what we're going to be moving to for as long as it needs to, because I mean it's usually like the starting when servers first come up. That's when they need to flex the most under the strain. But our servers will easily handle, you know, 3K, 3,500 people at once. I don't know that we want to go too much above that, not for like performance reasons, but just for like content reasons, just to make sure there's enough content. If you want a real game, just wait for Eminem. Okay. What's up, Corwin? Good to see you. We got one spot left, guys. One spot left. I think 17 might be just a tad too low, maybe, depending on... how deep we go. Is the spring update going to come with a new zone? Yes, not a new zone as in like it, like if you think of a zone as like something that you zone into, but it's definitely the equivalent of an entire new zone. It just happens to be in the ocean south of Silent Plains. Are you planning on doing a bit of push with some content creators, like for example Josh Strife Hayes? He loves these types of games, probably would really like your vision. I would love to connect with Josh. I've had a couple people mention him. I'm still, I guess, new enough at this where I don't like the content creation type thing, or like kind of the streamer vibe, where I'm not sure like what protocol is. Like I don't know whether to like reach out to him, or, you know, I don't typically, like, people in those communities will usually kind of poke, you know, or they'll have some like point people that I'm not sure. But I think it would be great to connect with Josh on that. No, it's, I mean, this is what I'm talking about, guys. Like, again, I'm really excited about Monsters and Memories. I'm excited for them. Like, I think it's shaping up to be a really cool project, and I think it's got it's definitely got an audience. I like Sean a lot. I mean, they've got a great team. Like, so I'm definitely excited about it. What is unfortunate though is that I think there's a subset of that community that seems to want to always pit like Eminem against Pantheon. And while that feels good, I think what it also has the chance to do is create this kind of like constant comparison in people's minds, so that people do really start, you know, assuming that both games launch and both games are like to the full extent of what they're trying to be, I think you end up making Eminem and Pantheon so synonymous in people's minds that you end up setting both games up for unfair comparisons, which could come back to bite. And I think there's plenty of, you know, I've not shied away from like our mistakes, and you know, obviously we've been at this a while. I think there's plenty to talk about and criticize without constantly needing to, you know, kind of say, and therefore this game, because I just think it kind of makes it's not, I don't know, I just don't think it's ultimately healthy for a project when communities do things like that. Let's see. Jadden's 26, Balthazar. Let's do 18. Oh no, I don't take it to heart. I don't take it to heart because like I said, the reason I don't take it to heart is because I can say like I'm glad for Eminem. I have no problems. It's not I hope that game does really, really well. I'm proud of those guys. I think it's a cool project. So I mean, there's nothing that I'm taking to heart. What I just don't like seeing is kind of the Reddit culture of like it has to, like, we want to like talk about this game we're excited about by trashing this game that, you know, I don't like seeing Pantheon community do that either. Like I'm just like community agnostic, game agnostic. I just don't like seeing people do that. It doesn't bother me. It's just, I just don't think people think, I think people think that it's much more effective than it is. So, and I think people have interesting perspectives on games. Like, you know, for example, like Ubom in here talking about how we've changed direction. Like, it, you know, it goes without saying, like, so many games never make it out of development because they do change directions so many times trying to find their actual true shape. Let's go ahead and zone in, guys. I think we're ready. I think over time narratives have a way of changing, because people will talk about Pantheon and say, look how many times they've changed directions. But what does that mean, direction? What does it mean to change direction? Like, that's a buzzword to say, and it kind of like, you know, but what does it actually mean? You know, some people will say, well, the art style changed. Okay. We changed art styles to make the game more performant. We changed art styles to make our art development pipeline faster, easier. Well then by direction you mean change direction, meaning like the refactor that we did in 2019, because we had so many systems that weren't data driven but were hard coded, and we had a very unperformant game. We had, you know, critical errors where there were times in pre-alpha, I remember there were times where you would use, certain classes would use an ability, and then that ability would gray out and become unusable, not only just for the rest of the play session, but for that character permanently. Even if you log out of the game, even if you shut the game down and then brought it back up, you wouldn't be able to use it. We had these critical issues like that, you know, over and over, you know, things were starting to pop up, and there's a lot of reasons, but, you know, the refactor in 2019, is that a change of direction? So it's just, it's an interesting thing to say, but at the end of the day, like, you only get one chance to launch a game, and a lot of people, I think, would have been happy for us to kind of push it out the door unfinished, because they either want the game to fail. If you genuinely want, if you genuinely want a game to succeed, you do not want it to just launch. And I think that's ultimately the most telling thing. Like, if you genuinely want a game to succeed, you want it to be good. Okay, here we go. So combat. Combat was a direction change. What does that mean? Chevrons were a direction change. Yeah. We're deciding to do something different with chevrons, okay? Say one of the most requested changes, I think, in the game's history. Mob encounters, I don't know what that means. Class reworks. I mean, you may not be able to get more important than your class design and like classes being good, so I think class reworks, balancing, tweaking, tuning, you know, incorporating new abilities, tweaking abilities, I mean, these are things that you should expect all the way up to hey, got it back. All the way up to launch and beyond. What else? You got combat and combat reworks in there twice. Actual game reworks. Yeah, I just, to me, reworks just feels like a buzzword. I don't really, I don't know exactly what that means. It's also compounded by the high visibility development, yes. Yeah, I mean, that's, Brad and I used to talk about that quite a bit, that, you know, it used to be, you would have publisher money, you'd have all this stuff, you know, and you'd do that. You would do that process of like going down a path, getting to a point where you're like, this isn't going to work, or this isn't feeling like we wanted it to, or like we thought it would. Guys, as soon as you guys want to push up, I'm happy to do so. Happy to do so. But, you know, you have publisher money, you go, you know, down a path, and then you'll, you know, maybe get to the point where you walk it back. And then that happens quite a bit, but that's before anybody sees it. That's before anybody knows about it. Whereas when development is public, and especially something as high profile as Pantheon's been from the beginning, because of Brad. I mean, Brad's the reason. The only reason why this game has legs, or ever had legs, was because of Brad originally, for sure. And that brought so much visibility onto the project. And so, and like I said, a lot of the stuff, it's what's so funny sometimes, is like a lot of the criticism that we get literally is the same kind of criticism that we were getting from the very beginning. And it's I don't know, it's like this, and that's why I think Pantheon's such an amazing story, because, and I've said this multiple times, we have made so many milestones along the way that people were convinced we would never, ever, ever get even close to seeing. Like the fact that we're sitting here post early access launch, top 10 on Steam when we launched. The fact that, you know, we're seeing, you know, something like Ashes again, very, very unfortunately, but we're seeing projects much larger, much better funded, much better resourced fail. And we are stronger than we've ever been in terms of our resources. We have, our communication is improving, our roadmaps clear and accurate. Our community's growing. It's like, these are the places where the criticism starts to, I get that people are frustrated, and I get that people are getting impatient. I get that people want it to be done now. Like, I get that totally. But the idea, the stuff that gets thrown around, like there's no leader, there's no direction, there's all this, like, it's not true. Nicodemus says games are hard to make. It's a small miracle any game gets across the finish line. Word. Spittin', brother Nicodemus, spittin' facts. Spittin' facts. In a world where AAA games are falling off left and right, I have hope indie games can help players have places to explore, gather with friends, and more importantly, have fun. That's right. Not yet, Mordhack. Not yet. Well, Ubam, I think so. When you reference Eminem, like, the other problem, and I say this on behalf of Eminem, like, or not on behalf of them, but I say this, and Sean and I've talked about this before, because I don't think a lot of people know that, like, Sean and I, it's been a little bit since we've connected, but I consider him a friend and somebody that, we're a little bit more we're a little bit more competitors now than we once were when we first started to connect and whatnot. But I've had several conversations with him, and he's been very clear that, like, every game has its honeymoon phase, and Eminem is no different. And what you have to be able to see past is the fact that, like, once a game gets past its honeymoon phase and it starts to show inevitably what all games do, which is, that could be a lack of content, that could be a lack of depth, that could be, any number of things, because no game is perfect, no game is, like, fully complete. And I think the problem that can happen sometimes is Eminem can find itself in this position where it's held up as, like, why can't it all be like this? And the truth is, like, Eminem has done some things really, really well. You've got Sean, who obviously is very experienced. You've got Nick, who has had a lot of time, like, in a professional Q&A setting, and is also, very experienced in, like, processes and things like that. And that project has benefited immensely from having those things early on, which, we didn't have. And so there was a lot of time in the beginning where we made quite a few mistakes. So absolutely they've benefited from that, and absolutely they have done a better job of getting further along in a similar time frame. But you also have to understand at the same time that they are different games. The art requirements for Eminem are not the same as the art requirements for Pantheon. And the list goes on. They are different games, and you could even pin that on them to their credit, to say, like, they have chosen to go with an approach I think that is ultimately more manageable for a smaller indie team. And that's, again, a good call. So none of this, this is all, like, kudos to them. But to hold the two up and say, if this team can do this, then this team should be able to do that. It's just not the same. Yeah, I don't get the whole comparing us to AOC, by the way. I mean, if we were like AOC, we would have been what, you know. Anyway, I'm not gonna go there. Kelvin, not yet. We're still holding on to summer as our date. Yeah, I'm not gonna go there. Yeah, and that's really sad to hear, Mystery, because I mean, like, they're, you know, I don't know, getting more and more into this, like, I guess you could say, this like content creator space, you know, having a voice and talking about things. Like, you've got to be careful. You got to be careful how you talk about stuff. I feel like people really kind of sit with the responsibility that you have to, like, put stuff out into the ether. And you know, and that's one of the reasons why I don't go very far with Ashes is because, like, there are real people. Like, you start to look at projects and you start to not see them as real people. You start to not see them as, like, having lives and families, and, you know, it's so easy to gloss over, like, the hours and the time and the effort and the heart that's been put into these projects, and you just say stuff, and it's like, I don't know. I enjoy these conversations too much. I think that's the issue. I enjoy the challenge of, like, I don't know. I feel like I've been kind of, like, baptized in it on this project from the very beginning. From the very beginning. We can move on. We can move on. I'll say what I always say, guys, and I'll leave it at this. The road that we've taken has not been ideal. But at the end of the day, what matters is 1.0 and the proof of whether this project has been legitimate and is real will be in the pudding. And I am telling you that this is my life. Like, this is my life's effort. This is what I have devoted myself to. And we've weathered a lot of storms. Not gonna stop until this thing is done. Period. And we are endeavoring to make the best possible game that we can, because when this game launches, we want it to stand up under the scrutiny that launch games will inevitably face. And we do not take that lightly, and so it has to be ready. So, proof will be in the pudding, and we're gonna get there. The pudding is good. I haven't had it in a while. Okay. Does this game have a future? 100% yes, it does. No question. And I think our EA launch, I think our wish list, I think our box sales, I think all of that only being a portion of the overall community for this game makes that very clear. And I think our population, I think our interested parties are only going to grow as Pantheon develops further, as Pantheon continues to get polished, as a lot of our differentiating systems come into play, I think people more and more are going to look at it and say, dang, that actually looks really, really good. And then the good news is that it's going to be performant, it's going to be optimized, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a great game. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind. 100%. Will healing spells damage undead in Pantheon? No. No, they will not. There are no plans for that, at least at this point. But the cool thing about Mastery is, like, that's the perfect place to potentially introduce things like that. So you think about like a Smite cleric, like a cleric that's going like kind of that DPS route. That could be like a cool way to repurpose their healing spells. But baseline, as a baseline, no. Yo, Trevor, take care. You're heading to work? Where are you? Well, you don't have to answer where you live, but that's must be somewhere different where it's morning time right now, huh? Me too, Kelvin. Me too. Whackums. I'm new here, but whatever you do, listen to the people who put in many hours. The Degen Pantheon gamers know this game better than you. No disrespect, good sir. Hey, we listen. We listen. I'm supposed to be locked in, by the way, guys. I'm supposed to be locked in right now. Is it here? Is it here? No. Hello? What will armor look like in Pantheon? Armor tiers like WoW versus Pantheon. I'm not a fan of making armor constantly obsolete. How will Pantheon avoid this? Yeah, we're going back to kind of an old school approach to armor with Pantheon, so it's not going to be as like incrementally tiered as it is in something like WoW. And what that means is you'll actually be able to find armor potentially that, you know, kind of for the level is stronger than you might otherwise be able to find. Yo, Lone Dog, 3-stream streak. Hey, that's sick. Oh, Alderun, there you are. Gotcha. Lord, give Alderun an invite when you can. He's back. Hey, thank you for the prime, Lone Dog. Appreciate that, my friend. Yeah, fart nuggets for sure. For sure. And that's, that is, oh, thanks. Thanks, Mina. Oh, Ko didn't drop the game at all. No, Ko's still following what we're doing. Ko's waiting until 1.0 to like fully dive in. And guys, one of the reasons that I wanted to stream, by the way, and another reason why I wanted to do it on my own personal account is, again, so I can be a little more unfiltered, but also because I want to be able to, like, correct... I mean, narratives, man, they're just crazy sometimes, like how narratives spread. You know? He'll likely check out the spring update. Yeah, I could definitely see him hopping in for spring update. It's a massive one, so I could see him wanting to take a peek. But he said many times, like, with MMOs, Ko's big on, like, playing forever characters. And so he's just always said, like, you know, he wants to wait till 1.0, create that character that is going to be his character, and that's really when he's going to dive in. And, I mean, that's, you know, coming from somebody that plays video games rhythmically and cyclically for a living, like, that makes sense, you know. But he is absolutely very much still dialed in for sure. Whoa, late night Joppa stream, the one time I don't believe him. I know, right? I was thinking about you, just let me play. I was thinking about you. Does gathering speed reduce with skill? It does. Your gathering skill and your tools, you get upgraded tools, and it actually increases it pretty dramatically as you get higher quality tools. Jadin and the Sunday, thank you so much for the Prime subs. Appreciate that, guys, very much. Yo, Nicodemus, take care, my friend. I've been able to catch just a little bit of some of the streams that you've done. If you guys don't know, Nicodemus is one of the, he's a developer on M&M. He streams from time to time, so definitely check him out. You get the chance. Keep it up, man. Keep it up. Can't wait to see Asmongold play. I don't know, man. I don't know if Asmongold's... I don't know how into MMOs he even is anymore. Sorry, YouTubers. Hold on. Let me catch up on with you guys as well. I've got to get that combined chat. Mr. Jiggles! Good, or Mr. Jiggle, good to see you. Good to see you. Hope your Friday has been good as well, my friend. Yeah, the co-approach is a good approach. I just barely made it through that. They are ravenous, yet I remain. Yo, what's up, Rinlings? Good to see you. Good to see you. Alright, so we got a group here. This might be a good opportunity to actually buff everybody. No, I wanna go down, guys. Okay, so I was thinking about this earlier before I started streaming. I wanted to stream in How Near Ghosts because it's after dark. It's kind of spooky, right? But I wanted to purposefully not camp this room. I want to actually carve out a spot down in, like, down where it's scary, and see if we can hold a spot down there. Are we down? You guys down for that? Going down to scary, yes. Look! Good thing I'm the #1 cleric on the server, or that could have gone bad. Can I just say, like, how fun it is, like, being able to group with you guys from the community? Like, how cool is that? Just chilling. That's so cool. I don't know, it just hits me sometimes. Up. Lumpy. Oh, Lumpy is big dead. Big dead. Sorry, Lumpy. I'm almost big dead. Oh yeah, the boss. Dude, was that, what was that? Was that, unmortal explosion or whatever? Mina putting in work. Nice CC, man. Ooh. Bro. Die. Alright, I'm just gonna die here so we don't hurt them. What? Okay. What? What happened? What was the... I don't know. Any credence to what are you referring to, Okoven? Hero has emerged. Hold on one sec. Hold on one second. All right. Sorry about that. When can we see some Nightfall Crypt? Soon. Not yet. Not yet. Way too scary for you down there. We need to get down there. We got to get some time down deeper. Hi, Joppa. I have a question. Will there be new face models, hairstyles, and other customization for our characters when the next version is released? That is something that we are going to be working very very hard on, very like focusedly in the second half of this year. So it is big on our radar for sure. We haven't announced the level range yet, Tim. Problem lately has been people have been really burned by early access. Sure. Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. Man, there's still so many spells that I don't have. When does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent. Thank you, Lone Dog. You guys got to see Chair for a second, anyway. For a small second. What brand watch am I wearing? I don't know, actually. This is my dad's watch that one of the things I got when he passed away. It doesn't work, but I like wearing it. It's a Timex Indiglo. Yeah. Just something to have of his that's close, you know? Put a new streamer goal, put a secret on your chair for us to read. Oh. Oh. That's interesting. That is interesting indeed. We have returned. Let me get some mana. As a dad, that dad joke was probably one of the most glorious things I've ever heard. Well, Nikolai, if you like dad jokes, this is a great place to come to hear them. Our community is well versed, we'll say, in dad jokes. Their dad joke foo is proficient, to say the least. Are we going left or right down there, guys? This is the Stormona server, Stormona 0. Joppa, with masteries giving new playstyles to classes, what is your favorite class playstyle combo? I'm really excited about the Smite cleric. I can't tell you my favorite because I don't know that I truly have a favorite yet. But I'm really excited about the Smite cleric. I'm really excited about the DPS Dire Lord. And I'm actually kind of excited about the wizard spellblade, the melee caster hybrid wizard. Those are the two at the moment that are kind of at the top of my list. Yeah. Ooh, in the CC Rogue. I'm actually kind of jazzed about the CC Rogue. Wait, what? Like legit stuck? All right. Did they try slash stuck? Oh, wait, what? Oh. Oh, okay. If only there's a dev available. Well, here's the thing though. When I'm playing on this character, I endeavor to not engage in any kind of dev activity in any way, like to the extent that I would even want to like petition one of our actual like GMs to log in and do it, and not do it on this character. Let's do more ghosts. Let's go right. Well, hello there. Oh, lumpy. We're good. So locked in. So locked in. Beyond those stairs, the stuff of nightmare dwells. Indeed. Game audio still okay? Not too loud? Little loud. Okay. We'll try that. You want a gnome druid? Oh! Goodness, these guys wreck. Lumpy, I'm so sorry. My goodness, the blasphemes are just, they're totally tilted. You need to add some new lyrics to your Papa Joppa song about the spring break. You need to talk to Wolfgar about that. Wolfgar is the man. Wolfgar is the song man. What's going on, man, real, huh? All right, let me get everybody buffed here. I haven't even adjusted my graphics yet. Look at this. Goodness. Manabrohan is the song man too. That's true. That is true. What's been hitting Lumpy so hard? Those blasphemes are... They're really tough. They're really tough. And they also have a damage shield that is does a ton of damage. If you don't catch it and you keep like doing a bunch of damage to them while it's on, then it can be pretty wreckful. Sanguine symbiosis. Any update on the Bard class? No update yet. I did talk to Phil today from PBL. We were talking about Nightfall Crypt and talking about a few things related to it. And guess what he brought up? I'll give you 3 guesses and the first 2 don't count. The Bard. When Bard? When do we get to work on Bard? And my answer to him was the same as I say to you, and that is soon, Philium. Soon. Alright, there's a blaspheme. Hold on to your butts. Cool. That wasn't so bad. Windbard. Windbard. Jedi, I have to say I prefer Pantheon, but in full transparency, I am the creative director and lead designer of Pantheon, so I am biased. So take that for what you will. Other group's gonna wipe. Ooh. Oh, maybe not. Let's hope that it's a not. Dwarf snag the other. Okay. We're good. We're good. Wingardium Leviosa. And these dudes don't want you to sit down. Is there a wipe before 1.0? Yes. Mr. RL squared. There's a wipe coming up this spring. We haven't announced the official exact date yet, other than it is coming in the spring. You know, if you chose the DPS class, you wouldn't have to concentrate as much. I know. I actually thought about today starting that next class. Now that I've basically at level 20, I don't think I'm going to be able to get through all the classes like I want to in prep for, you know, all of our work coming up in the spring if I go too much further past 20. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get through all the classes as it stands anyway. But I'm probably, once I hit 20, I'm probably going to switch to something else. So what should the next class be? I was really close to rolling a ranger. Enchanter. Honestly, that might not be a bad idea to pick back up the Enchanter. That might not be a bad idea at all. Thinking more... Yeah, especially if we... especially if we want to go with something less... requiring less focus. Yeah. Rebot, what do you like about the Dark and Darker Bard? What do you mean by more interactive? What are you doing? The Dark and Darker, that's interesting. I wonder how that would even translate into like an MMO mechanically. Ooh, love. Woo. He's blasting. Oh, like a mini game mechanic. Interesting. Okay. After the Bard comes out, are there any other classes planned, or will that be the last one? That will be the last class for 1.0. Yeah. Oh joy, another blaspheme. Need some mana. Imagine Ocarina of Time mechanic catcher spells. You imagine somebody literally sitting there like frantically trying to push the right combination. Toot 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 toot. Sorry guys, hold on. Everyone's just yelling at him. Play the notes! Play the notes, man! Oh my goodness. Ah, thank you, J Tall. Thank you. Appreciate it. Out of the depths they will come, yet I remain. Thanks. Thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Appreciate that, my friend. Big time. Thank you. I love how EQ Bard worked, to be honest. Yeah, I do too. Very much. The flame emits cold instead of heat. A latched door tightly fastened. No, 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 no. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. What I love about Bard, what I really like about the Bard class is the way that they, I mean, I love that they are support specialists, and I love that they can create out of a menu of support, they can prepare specific support dishes, if you will, and season those dishes and, you know, have that crazy flexibility of coverage. That's one of the things I really love about the class. And then I also really like the concept of composition. And, you know, you have these kind of pre-existing songs, but then you also have the ability to compose songs with, you know, the specific recipe that you choose. And the speed. Yeah, the speed. Yes, Seawick, exactly. With a few inspirations from some other games as well. Like there's some interesting. Okay, we got two. Right. Just making sure we're solid. This is fun. Like I'm glad. Like I actually moving down into here. It's cool. It's cooler. Oh. Ouch. Oh, Bards, yeah, I mean, Bards were very good in EQ PvP. Very good. Because Bards also get Mez and Charm. And, definitely made them very, very formidable. Very annoying in PvP. Can Bards have an ocarina? Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Bards will have an entire wind instrument family. They'll have brass, wind, percussion, string, and singing. And there'll be different... there will be different... I am silenced. There will be different... Apparently we have respawns. Anyway. The different instrument families will have different instruments within those families. So, a flute, an ocarina, yes, a tuba. Yes. Burp, 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 burp. Imagine bards running around like that. In fact, I think tuba probably is a better fit for this beat song than percussion is. So you'll just see bards zipping past you, blaring this like loud note on their tuba, just blasting it. Are you guys going to stick with the current TTK, or is that something you're going to be adjusting and playing with by 1.0? We'll definitely be adjusting it from what it is currently. In fact, by the spring update, we'll be making some pretty significant changes to TTK to generally increase it across the board. So the fights take longer, but we're also going to be updating the experience formula as well, so you'll be getting more experience per kill. Yup. Iron Carnage, it does work currently to mitigate damage, but it, with the way that the formula is set up currently, it you know, you have to obviously have quite a bit of it, and you also have to be taking quite a bit of incoming damage, physical damage, to really see the benefits of it. One of the changes we're making for spring is to adjust the formula a bit, where there's just a different calculation that actually allows you to feel the effects of your armor at lower levels, even when you're taking less damage, and then that scales up to the scaling up to higher levels. So you'll see the performance of AC in the spring is going to be much improved for sure. Will bards be able to play instruments in town? One of my favorite Final Fantasy XIV moments is going to town and walking into a 6-man concert. Yes, actually, and one of the reasons that Phil's so excited about the bard is exactly that, because he's super excited about creating a bard and a music system that allows for things like that, concerts and different bards to play different instruments and things like that. So that's a big part of what we're going to be working through once we shift over to bard. It's going to be cool. Very cool. Your bard will play wooden spoons and a whiskey jug? Okay. Okay. Bard abilities in Pantheon are going to look so cool. Can already feel it. Yeah, they're gonna look sick and they're gonna sound sick. It's going to be really cool. And you know, being able to actually really kind of like depict the instruments and the way the instruments sound, I'm super excited about it. Super excited. Yes, they will be able to twist. That tavern song should already be in, but it only plays at a certain time of day, and we need we plan to have NPCs that come in at that time and actually kind of to demonstrate or to kind of telegraph that, you know, they're playing music, because it's meant to be kind of a live song that is played by bards and sung by the people in the tavern. So we're gonna hopefully before too long get all that set up. We still need, you know, instruments and like some of those animations that would fully bring it to life. Ham boning. Dang, I am getting hit. Dude, I'm so excited for the summoner update. My goodness. Don't know if I want to start level other characters at the moment because I've heard there's a wipe coming soon. There is a wipe's chaos coming in spring. Oh my. So, totally understandable if you want to hold off from really like going hard on a character till then. A lot of people that are coming to Pantheon and kind of new to Pantheon are taking the opportunity to just kind of get to know some of the different classes and how they work and whatnot. But yeah, can totally understand wanting to wait till the wipe before going in hard. Too early. Will druids ever get a real snare? I mean, like the one in EQ that slowed mobs depending on how much health they had left. Yeah, the snare's a little rough right now, for sure. And again, that's another one of those things where, you know, we could make the baseline snare just more powerful in general, or we can let that be something that, you know, is a mastery choice that is made, and in doing so can even bump it further because it's something that, you know, you're intentionally going to need to take. Doing some masterful healing this evening? I mean, yeah. Joppa, there is an immense amount of world building yet to do. Do you feel that is something that will happen fairly rapidly once you guys are finished working on the classes and races and combat? It's something that is going to get faster and faster as our team grows. Because the people that work on classes and combat and things like that, they're not necessarily people that are creating art and building zones, but we've already been able to, since EA, we've been able to grow our art and world building team a good bit. And as we continue to grow, that'll speed up. Yeah. Hey, you bet, Lone Dog. Yeah. I'm glad that comes across, man. I am glad to hear that. is the rest of the world, but we're going to take a lot of time regardless. I mean, it definitely takes time. It definitely takes time. It is one of the most time-consuming things, just because of, you know, all the art that goes into it, and how big these areas are, and also, again, I mean, like, the density of detail in Pantheon is something to take into account. You know, and there's a lot of you know, we're definitely going for a little bit more of a level of detail in these zones. But yeah, I think as the year progresses, I think you guys will see kind of the new cadence that we're able to achieve as our team has grown and is growing, and it's encouraging. I mean, I'm super excited. You know, Nightfall Crypt's releasing soon. It's I think you guys are going to be really excited about Nightfall Crypt. I think it's going to kind of exceed expectations a little bit, and I think Body of Dakar is going to do. I mean, I think it's going to do the same thing, big time, big time. And then we've got more content coming in the summer, and it's just a snowball. It is a verifiable snowball. Oh dear. The named is up. Dude, yeah, Fairtale's going to be amazing. It is going to be amazing. Can you remind me of what stats are going to affect Summoner? Yes. Int, Wiz, Con, and Charisma. Okay. We're going to need to get that key, huh? It's always scary when all those little swarmer guys come. Is the store locked now? Yeah. Yeah, we had somebody come with the key and let us in earlier, but I don't think anybody in the group has a key, so. I'm happy for you guys getting the funding you needed and sensing the progress seemed to ramp up for up a bit for this year. Yeah, for sure it has. And I keep saying it, but I think the spring update is it's on another level, just in terms of like how massive it's going to be and everything that's coming with it. So I think it's going to be really clear just how much ramp up has been done. Because I mean, you know, the truth is, like, as much as we talk about there is a degree that you guys are really seeing just kind of the tip of the iceberg in some ways. Probably more than the tip of the iceberg. I mean, you're seeing like the upper, 30% or whatever. But there's a lot of different stuff going on. And we have more people, to share that load. And so the more we're able to grow, the more we're able to do. I mean, it's still a pretty small, scrappy team. So, but we're getting a little bigger. Got, I think, 22, 23 devs now. We've got like 4.5 dedicated programmers now. I say half because just like the shared hat wearing of the 5th one. We've got 2 animators. We've got we've got 5 designers. 6 designers, sorry. Our team's grown, it's so the more these different teams fill out and flesh out, the more concurrent work that can be happening at once, the more we're able to kind of do pre-production on upcoming zones and get a lot of the groundwork done, terrain shaping, art asset pipeline, all that stuff, and it all snowballs. And I think this year will be really telling for how much growing and how that's affecting our trajectory. Yo, Faf, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the tier 1. That is very, very appreciated, Faf. Thank you. Thank you. Yep, only one Joppa. Only one. Whoa, cleric loot? What? Did I hear cleric loot? Where? Can't use it. Why can't clerics use Ripsmack? Bro. I cannot believe Ripsmack just dropped. Like, what? What? Bro. Ooh. Ooh. Where's my corpse? I didn't even... Guys, I didn't even loot my... Where is my corpse? What? We haven't gotten him yet. Just making sure you guys remembered. Just making sure you remembered. That we're all paying attention. Well, I mean, somebody needs to pick up old Ripsmack. Yeah, it happened because I'm not on the care that I use it. Yeah. Yeah. Remember 2 streams ago when you thought it was a bug when you didn't have any mana? Yes. No. No, I don't. What are you talking about? What? Chaos, thanks so much for hanging out. Really appreciate you being here. Hope to see you again. Will the druid get a limited form of tracking like they did in EverQuest? They will. Yes, they are. We do plan to give them a less good form of tracking. Yes. If you had to pick a specific part of game dev, what do you like to do the most? World building, NPC population, class design. Well, I do all 3 of those things regularly enough. If I could focus on one of them, but it was the kind of thing where I could only ever do one of them. That's tough. Because world building... I'm actually doing a little bit of world building right now for Nightfall Crypt. I'll share with you guys what it is after it releases. And obviously, with it being as close to coming out, it's not like a critical part of it. It's more because I want to, and I think it's gonna pay off and add, but it's kind of a last minute little thing. But the world building is so relaxing. It's so chill, and I love it. So that would be a big... I would be very tempted to choose world building for that reason. I also really like NPC population too. I don't enjoy it quite as much as world building, but it's definitely very creative and fun. And you know, placing NPCs, what their abilities are, you know, encounter design, all that stuff. But my heart is with the classes too. I love classes. I love class design, and just... It'd be a tough call. It'd be a tough call. And as much as I love world building, I probably, at the end of the day, there's a difference between working on like a slice of an area versus like, here's an entire zone, and from this blank canvas, you need to kind of, like, that would be tough to do. I've never really done that to that degree. So I would probably pick... I'd probably pick class design if I had to pick one of the 3. Yeah. This is a cleric. I'm playing a dwarf cleric. This is a healer. A divine healer. Are there any plans to have spell particle effects ramp up occasionally as you level up? I always thought that was pretty cool in EverQuest. Yes, we do have plans. We actually do have some spell lines that do that currently. And yeah, we definitely plan to do that. Like, holistically. What's up, BE? Good to see you. Asking the hard questions, Law. Yeah. That's a good question, though. The corroded key. Oh, good grief, yes. Woot. Yes, Sergeant, we are. You'll be able to turn off other particle effects. We want to actually give you guys even more control than that. But as a starting point and as a baseline, yes, you will be able to do that. Oh. Do the animation guys stream? No, they don't. I know that's one thing I liked about EQ2 was it let you turn on and off almost everything if you wanted, but it also lets you adjust the particle effect size so that you can still see them. They just were not as huge. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Bronson streams. So the animators don't stream. Our lead artist, Bronson, he does stream from time to time, so you can definitely check that out. How important is it for the world to include hidden areas and secrets? Are you concerned that once they appear on a wiki, players will stop exploring and discovering things for themselves? Well, number one, I think it's very important. Very, very important that those things exist. Even if they are eventually found out. Even if they're eventually discovered and, you know, plastered on the on a spoiler site or whatever. One of the, like I tried to explain when we talked about the perception system, is one of the things that we want to do with that, and the way we've built it and kind of intend for it to work is that even if you know where, you know, a certain NPC is, or you know where a secret room is or something like that, that the outcome of going there for you is going to be dependent on the decisions that you've made. And, you know, and those decisions, and that accounts for just about everything. Like, you know, it could be the NPCs you've talked to, it could be, you know, having a specific item in your inventory, killing, you know, a specific target, completing a specific quest, you know, so many different things. Interacting with a certain object, you know, entering into a certain area. That is what will create different outcomes for the same event, depending on what the culmination of those things are for you in particular. So the decisions you've made, the places you've gone, the things you've done, even down to your faction, your race, and your class, you know, those can also be different levers. So I was talking to Vladis about this, one of the former AOC content creators I was talking to recently with, he was asking a similar question, like, you know, why do developers feel like it's so important to put time and effort into quests and stories and these kinds of things when, you know, we live in an age where, you know, everything's spoiled and there's walkthroughs and stuff like that, and part of our answer to that is to try and create a system that even with that being the case, there are still plenty of room for, you know, individual experiences that you won't necessarily know how you got from point A to point B, and it will take at least quite a bit longer for those things to get solved. Yeah. Case in point. Book stealing with a group known as the Avos. One is titled On the Prime Deities. A stack of books each regarding the Princes of the Fade. A collection of writings known as Gurman's Reflections. Huh? What did I do? What's up? Oh, you're using Chase the Wind to get... Does that get you stuck up there? Hmm. This DPS recap is a dev only thing right now, but we plan to roll that out to you guys at some point during EA. I saw you changing a mob the other day to have a limited mana pool. Is that something we could see more for more common mobs? I always thought it was a nice feature in EQ that mobs could be drained right out of mana. Yeah, yeah, that is absolutely what should be happening. Bosses and things like that, aren't gonna run out of mana, but common NPCs definitely should. I think outlasting an NPC's, mana-based arsenal is definitely, if it's possible for you, it's definitely a reasonable strategy, So what do we want to do? We're down one. We're down quite a bit of DPS because we lost our wizard. Do we want to try to, what are we thinking? Oh, train. Sweet Christmas morning. Whew. That was a biggie. Wait, what did I do? Was I a troll? Key repopped. Yeah. This the recap would just be for EA, just to help with testing and kind of getting a feel for various things. That's all. That's all. You. All right. What do we want to do, guys? Are we gonna keep trying? What do you think? Oh, the train is returning. Is up. So that's a bug right now, right? Like if I ran up to these guys, they would not attack me. Is that right? Depends. Yeah, let's not test it. No, I don't want to test it, but that shouldn't even be a question. Like, they should absolutely re-aggro if when they're in walking back mode. That should be a no-no. Yeah, I mean, we can probably call it here. What I'll probably do if we do wrap up at this point is I'll probably hop on I don't know. I'm kind of just itching to make a ranger and just kind of play with the ranger just for a little bit. I think I am going to probably commit to the enchanter more full time, but I have a level 10 enchanter that I'm going to pick up, and I don't think I want to like get too into that tonight. Oh. Come on. Get up. Nope. Get up. Get up. Nope. Okay. Yeah, let's just call it here, guys. I think that's fine. We're in a safe spot, so probably better to call it here and not like get too stuffed into anything else. Thanks so much for the group, guys. Really appreciate it. Thanks for letting us go a little bit off the beaten path and get down into the depths, even though we ate it a few times. Not my fault, obviously. Obviously, that should go without saying, but you know, still. Yeah. Yeah, let's check out a little bit of Ranger. Hold on one sec. Thank you for the group, guys. Seriously, that was fun. Like I said, it's a really cool thing to be able to group with the community like that, and it is really cool. Very cool. Let's just take quick stock here, though, right? Like we've got, so Chansey was the first. This is the level 10 enchanter I'm gonna pick up and keep going with. We've got Beanseeker. This was the summoner that kind of paved the way to it's time. We're not waiting until spring. We're getting this situated. We're addressing this situation. Daggers. Epic experience on this guy getting this weapon. That's really cool. Really cool. We've got Ravikin, our Necro, which I miss playing. Biffalo is kind of the GOAT, I would say, out of this group. Really enjoyed playing Biffalo. Hallows, we gave Paladin a run for a little bit. Ravisher on the Dire Lord got to level 6. You know. But Biffalo, we barely knew ye. I know. We're still gonna get Reckon to 20. But let's get a Ranger going here. Ranger. What are we gonna name him? Aregalos? Legalorn? Joplos. Oreganos. Legolas. Bardwin. Pots, no. No, it is not. I don't know. Let's go with, let's go with... Can we get Ranger? Let's see. Sneed, formerly Chucks. Oh man, that's a ranger. That's a ranger right there. Let's go with like, I don't know. Black. It's a clean, his clean cut ranger. Clean cut. Yo, Oren, bro. Good to see you, Oren. So good to see you. Welcome, man. Thank you so much for the tier 1 in the 22 months. How has it been 2 years? Nearly 2 years. I don't know. I don't know. It's wild. I think that for those of you that don't know, Oren's kind of like, I mean, Oren is the OG. I think Oren was the first viewer of my very first stream. So crazy. Crazy. Hardest part of MMO is naming your character. Yes. We're going with the clean cut ranger, guys. We're just gonna do it. Ranger? We got it. There it is. How are you? Good. Doing really well. Doing really well. Very, very well. Very excited. Lots of good things to be excited about, my friend. Very good. Sweet. Here we are. Those sweet, sweet misses. Okay, so what do you mean? Forgive me, I wasn't even talking to you. Okay, tracking. Swift shot. Swift shot. And forage. Beautiful. Swift shot, forage, and tracking. Okay. Yeah, family's doing good. We're doing well. We actually just got a couple of my kiddos have been dealing with the flu, and thankfully my wife and I haven't gotten it. Hoping that continues. Will tracking be something you can improve with mastery? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. I've got 3. 3. Punchy punch boy. I want to track undead. No, I don't want to track undead during the daytime. Yeah. Let's track Let's try humanoids, see if we can find... I don't want reds, oranges. I don't want players. Don't want civilians either. So where... Okay. Show me. Could have just used my eyes for that one, I think. Heading to the left. Oh, it must be across the water, huh? Let's skip that one for now. I like hunting skellies early because skeletons are... They're juicy targets. They... I don't know, they feel like good... nice little early little loot buckets, you know? The worst thing is when you name yourself something throwaway and then that becomes your name on Discord and then all social media and then that's your name until you leave the community or hard reset against all that is good and right. That's funny. Yes. True. True. Yeah, I like the footprint idea. I like that a lot. I like that. I don't mind necessarily seeing the message either, like alongside it, but it'd be cool to have like the footprint as part of it. Ah, come on. Woo! Okay. Tone that tracking distance down a tad. Did they all get... You're taking my forges. Let me go ahead and get foraging started here. Maybe I'll try, there we go. Behind and to the right. Ah, yes. Bubble Bard. The legendary Bubble Bard is already has claimed it. Bubble Bard. We might even stumble upon a dangle wangle if we're not careful. They can be anywhere. Ouch. Dangle Wangle. Okay. Try to remember to forage when it pops. Forage when it pops. Lumpy. We're just gonna use our eyes. Oh! Could it be? Yes. Yes, it could. Dude, Rangers are fun, man. They're gonna be fun. It's gonna be hard not to get sucked into this class, I can already tell. I love being able to, like... I really enjoy kiting. And as we build out that sweet ranger, like, druid magic side, whoo! Oh, man. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Did we ever find out if Dangle Wangle was still playing? I think he is. Or, I mean, he might be... I don't know if he's, like, actively playing, or if he's waiting on white, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he's very dialed in. Oh, good. I missed both of those shots. That's great. Let's get our archery skill up here. Come on. Oh, good. Got friends. Okay. Yes. Haha. He was not expecting that. The ding. Wipe of Spring, yes. Yes. Or so legend happened. Or so legend has it, yes. Legend has it that Dangle Wangle is still aura farming, as he is wont to do. Oh my goodness. That is quite the damage shield. Whew. Well, in true EQ fashion, with a damage shield of this magnitude. Bring it on! Oh, I need to... I'll never forget coming across Fatal 1 and not knowing if the name was overconfident or self-deprecating. Yeah. In a list, it would read Wangle Dangle. One critique I have for Ranger, for Snipe shot, I would love some way of showing the weight of holding the string back as I hold down the attack. Yeah, so like you pull it back and you kind of like, when you get it back, you kind of like see that like shaking kind of thing right before you release, and like kind of like growing maybe as you hear kind of the tautness, or maybe that's not what you meant at all, and I just went down a path. Outside of the mastery system, is there any implementation change that you are personally most excited to deliver live? At this very moment, I think outside of mastery, I'm very excited about the mail system in the auction house. Because I know when we launched EA, one of the most requested and most often mentioned, like, detriments or frustrations or like, man, I wish list items was mail and auction house. So it's going to be really cool to do a fresh wipe, have, you know, a lot of people returning, and then have those two major like quality of life and kind of economy engagement systems in play. I think the other one right now is getting body of the car out the door, getting some like water travel, and some kind of getting water more kind of incorporated on top of all the new content areas that body of the car is going to bring. That's definitely another one that I'm like at this moment super excited about. Yeah. Will the mail and auction house be local? Mail won't be local. The auction house we're going to be starting the auction house off in a regional sense, meaning like continent-wide. And that's something that we'll test and we'll dial in as we go. There will be a boat travel system like an EQ, yes. Eventually. Meaning like a kind of a grand ferry system between continents, yes. But you will also be able to pilot your own craft. It won't obviously it will not be easier. It should be obvious. It won't be easy to get your own craft, you know, outside of something like the summoner that can summon a raft or things like that. But that too will be a higher level thing. So the boat ferries and stuff like that will be pretty important. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, and removal of chevrons. I totally forgot. Yes, it's because I'm getting a little bit sleepy. That's why. I love how Joppa's answer to this question changes so often. I very much remember him saying the removal of chevrons. Yes, that is ultimately the answer. I just totally blanked on the chevron. That is probably the single most exciting thing to me, because I think that is going to be the most fundamentally game-changing thing. I think that is going to fundamentally change the experience of playing Pantheon so significantly and so positively that it is definitely the thing I'm most excited about. For sure. So excited I didn't even remember to say it. But yeah, there it is. Chevrons are, we call them chevrons. It's basically like the elite, non-elite system in Pantheon. So like this NPC here, you look at its nameplate, it's just, you know, whatever. But this NPC is an elite, and it has this little chevron symbol. We are, and that represents like an artificial line of difficulty, and the idea there is that this is a group only or a group oriented NPC, meaning a solo player, or even like, you know, a duo or even a trio potentially, depending on what it is going to have a hard time with that single NPC. And it has created this very serious divide between what you can actually go out and do in the world if you're playing by yourself or with like a duo or a trio. And so getting rid of chevrons means that we're going to be able to you're going to be able to see players, you know, having a lot more freedom on what they can engage with. Open the world up quite a bit. Wait, am I being trolled? Starfield, what do you mean? How can I help? What are you talking about? Hey, thank you, Glorf. Thank you, guys. Thank you also, Lumpy. Helping me get a few of these levels here. I'm actually gonna be crazy here for a second and just now that I've got some speed. Uh-oh. Whew. All right. Let the damage shield do some work here. Never needed chevrons all along. Yeah. If you didn't see... Wait. If you didn't see your description of Snipe, shard improvement is 100% what I love to see. Okay, cool. Yeah. It was always good to see the same people trading certain things. Met some cool people. Met some cool people since I was the only one selling frostberries. People reached out to me, earned some trust. Is auction listings going to be anonymous, or is that all TBD? Excited to get back in post-wipe. We're going to be doing a dev diary at some point relatively soon, in the reasonably near future, on mail and auction house. So I'm gonna wait till then to like get into the details of it. But I know one of the things that we care about and that we would like to preserve is you know, still the ability to kind of become known. When you said removing chevrons, I thought you were just going to have wild, unmarked enemies we can randomly encounter. Okay, yeah. Thank you, guys. No, so getting rid of chevrons means that it's going to... NPC difficulty is now going to be based on the level of the NPC compared to yours. And so... what it means is that if you're somebody who's wanting to solo or, you know, do a small group thing, then you're going to be, you know, needing to do that on lower level NPCs. So like dark blues, light blues, things like that. And then if you're wanting to group, or if you are in a group and you're wanting to, you know, go somewhere where, you know, you want to have the best experience return for time spent and things like that, then you're going to be fighting higher level NPCs. So there won't be this like elite category that just artificially pumps up the health and pumps up the damage and those things. It's going to be more you're going to be pushing for higher experience per kill, and in a group you're going to be able to fight higher level things. And but what that means is that you're going to be able to see players actually going into a lot more places, either solo or in small groups, and I think you're going to see a lot more groups naturally forming in those environments because there's just going to be more players there actively doing the content. Like right now, if you're by yourself or if you're in a small group, like there are places you don't even go into. I'm going to go sell real quick and pick up a couple of abilities. Does getting rid of chevrons mean the mobs now scale with the amount of people tagging it? No, they don't scale with the amount of people tagging it. It just means that you're going to either want to be fighting higher level NPCs as a group for the better experience. But also, you know, especially when you think about like dungeons and places like that, we have a lot more levers than just something like an elite NPC category. NPC density, the kind of like abilities that NPCs have, their pathing mechanics, all that stuff can dramatically increase the challenge of any given area. So we'll be leaning more into those things as well instead of just the elite tag. All right, let's sell. If you've ever played EverQuest, that's one of the best kind of like references I can give as far as what we're trying to accomplish, where Pantheon is absolutely intended to be a group-centric game, where, you know, grouping up and pushing into hard places and things like that. I mean, that's kind of the heart and soul of the game, but we have way too much of a hard line right now between what you need a full group to do and small groups and solo players. They just feel locked out of most things. So yeah, half-baked. That's a good way to think about it. Are you going to keep rare mob difficulty, keep some challenges? Yeah, absolutely. And so like going back to like a dungeon environment, like rare named NPCs may not in and of themselves be any more challenging than, you know, a like NPC of their kind in that area. It's just the fact that they're rare. In fact, that's part of what is going to be helpful in kind of creating an attractiveness for just more players to have more accessibility. Is there being certain targets like that, you know, they can actually, you know, feasibly take on. I gave the example the other day of like running around in Avenir's Pass. There's a big Gadai bandit camp there. There's a named NPC, Joran Pharaoh, that spawns there. I was level 18 on my rogue. Joran Pharaoh is like level 11 or 12. It was gray to me on my rogue, and I was like, I'll give this a try. You know, it's gray. I mean, I just got totally, absolutely decimated because it was a group NPC, and it's like, man, here I am running around on my rogue. Like, I would love for there to be certain things that I can find that have a chance of dropping something cool that, you know, it's not necessarily as good as I'd get down in a dungeon, but it's still something. Like, it's something that I can challenge myself and see if I can take on. And right now, that's just really not possible. But that being said, you know, you still, just like an EQ, like, only a very few specific classes, once they were, you know, once they had soundly out-leveled the content, could go back and, like, solo something like the Ghoul Lord or the Avatar of Fear, or things like that. And that in no way, even though that was the case, that in no way diminished like how popular and how often groups formed an EQ to do various content. So, a solo player that tags and is fighting a rare mob, a group can't come in and steamroll and take the kill. Yeah, so that's another change we're making in the spring, is we're switching to a first to engage, or like a tagging system. Yeah. Right now it's most damage done. We're still going to have some most damage done targets in the game specifically to create those kind of like competitive, contested targets that, you know, guilds and large forces can fight over and stuff. But to go back to what I was saying, it's not that we're trying to remove challenge either, because, you know, we do still plan to have minor boss NPCs that can spawn in dungeon environments and even in overworld that are more challenging than a typical NPC. And then we have major bosses as well. Oop, 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 oop. No. Ooh, okay. Okay, let's chill. Let's chill. And that's where, with the major bosses, that's where you'll find the only planned instanced content in our dungeons, which is our dungeons are non-instanced, except for the major boss rooms and those major boss encounters, and those will be very challenging and not designed to be soloable. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Oh yeah, the PvP server, though, will be an exception. The PvP server will still needs to be most damage done. That system fits very well with the whole vibe of PvP, so. How can you say it's a group-centric game when pretty much everything except raid bosses are going to be soloable? Well, I mean, again, it's like go back to EQ is like that true north, where like EQ is a very group-centric game, and yet there really was nothing arbitrarily saying that you could or couldn't solo anything. I mean, that's why you've got like Alizusaurus or whatever it was, like in Ocean of Tears being soloed by Necros, and I can't remember if anything other than Necros could do it, but you know, you got a level 50 NPC there that wasn't designed, I don't think, to be soloable. But the presence of being able to solo things if you're the right class with the right gear and the right skill, I do not think diminishes from a game being a group-centric game. Because there are going to be targets that you just can't solo because of the way the content is set up. Either the NPC density, the way that the NPC's path, the different kind of like traits and dispositions and environmental effects and stuff that are present. Like there are going to be plenty of places where it just, for various reasons, is not going to be possible. But that's the key though, is it's like, it doesn't preclude that there still may be a way that players could figure out to do it. And I think that's the key. It's like, don't make it to where there's just arbitrarily no way. Like, don't make a forced grouping game outside of the content that is truly meant to be a group experience, which there will be some of that for sure. Like I said, you know, the major bosses and whatnot, and even some, you know, certain normal dungeons will be just because of the way they're laid out. I'm really curious, for example, I mean, Nightfall Crypt's a great example of there being places in there where I'm like, you know, even after we do make the changes, I'm not sure that, you know, a single player, regardless of class and kit, would be able to handle this. And that's fine. That's cool. You know, like that's part of a textured experience, I think. And the fun of like exploring the game after this change is you actually get to figure out what are the places that I can, you know, go deeper by myself or with, you know, just me and a buddy, versus right now where it's like not even really a possibility. So can't imagine the player base is going to be anywhere near the same as old EQ. I mean, in some ways I don't think we'll, yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but I don't think it's going to be so holistically different that as to be like unrecognizable. Oh, I hate this debuff. Ugh. Miss everything. Oh, it wasn't too bad. Yes, this is all, everything I'm discussing right now is part of the spring update, yeah. Yep. And therefore will coincide with a wipe. Yeah. That's why it's exciting. Big stuff. Probably be a good place to go. Yeah. Deleted. Ooh, okay. Sick. Sick. No, the Nightfall Crypt will still have chevron NPCs, yeah. Hey, now. I'll take those arrows. Oh, yes. Sweet. It's a good decision to come up here. Very good decision indeed. Oh, yes. Good decision indeed. Come on now. This is so far not at all helping the play the Enchanter situation. This is a dangerous class. This is like running and gunning like this is very much my enjoyed play style, actually. Which is why I wanted the Ranger to play like this. Come on, give me one more shot, one more shot. Thank you. The movement is not okay? What do you mean, Quackums? I love that name, by the way. Quackums. I know I'm not using the loot all button. I know. It's just to trigger some of you. That's the reason. Just... that's the reason. Wow. Honestly, I think I'm going to go a little more stamina, or a little more dex than stamina. I think that's the play. $11 dex. Oh, animations? Yeah, I mean, that's fair. But I mean, at the same time, like, you know, we're not going to be. It's not going to be AAA quality animations. It's not going to be like mocap. They are going to improve, though. They will all improve. Get quite a bit of polish, but yeah, it's a limit. There's a limit to how improved. That'll probably sell better than my no-sell pants. Do we usually see a spike in players when a reset happens? Well, it's our first one since we launched early access, so it's kind of going to be... we're kind of be seeing for the first time. I know when we first launched early access, we had almost 7K concurrent players on Steam, and then we had... quite a few players on standalone, meaning like players that had, you know, gotten the client by pledging and supporting the project while we were still in like super early development. Okay, I'll take these. Thank you. Thank you, Lumpy. I appreciate it. So we had a really sizable population. I don't know if everybody is going to come back when we wipe. I imagine the majority of people will at least check it out, at least log in and check it out. But I don't know that we will get back up to the same amount that we had when we launched EA, because again, we're in EA, and we're not going to see launch numbers until we get to launch. But with everything that is coming with the spring wipe and update, and as we get closer to it and show off more, I think we could get close to having as many. But as long as we are not at 1.0, and as long as there's the potential, and the fact that we will still, even after this wipe, we will have at least one more when we launch the game at 1.0. So there is going to be a final wipe that we do with the full 1.0 launch of the game. And I think with that still being the case, it will always kind of truncate how many people are going to fully lock in. But we'll see. We'll see. We shall see. Evo, it's in the spring. We haven't announced an official like specific date for it yet. We will do that. We'll definitely give everybody plenty of like heads up, but we haven't announced the date for it yet, other than coming in the spring. This spring. Point of the pre-launch, right? The point, well, yeah, so with all of the class changes that are being made, I mean, comprehensive class updates, I should say, getting them fully fleshed out to level 50. But beyond that, the mastery system, really, the way the mastery system is being set up and integrated, it's just incompatible with the current like schema. So yeah, that was weird. Whatever sound that creature just made sounded like a human voice for a second, like sounded like somebody just saying like a little statement, and for the split second I was like back in a game with VoIP. I thought, like, because I attacked that, and then I guess it was Glorf, he like attacked it and kind of pulled it. I thought it was somebody saying, sorry, something like that. It was crazy. Yo, what's up, Openlanders? Good to see you. Kind of a little cozy after dark stream. Yeah, it wasn't hay, though. It was oink, I guess. Close enough to hay. Yeah, I think I don't know what it is. I don't know what's making that sound. Joppa, can you say around which level I could go to Badia? Well, that's the thing. You can go anytime you want. You know? You can go anytime you want. Oh, hey, Corin, sorry. Will there be a set XP cap per kill? I remember Final Fantasy... It's easy to know when you were at the right place for your level. They also had a combo system. There will be, yes, there will be an ultimate XP cap per kill. There will be a point where, you know, we say, like, for a single kill at this level, you're not going to be able to get more than, you know, this maximum amount. So, yes to that. And like most things related to experience, you know, don't ask me too many questions about what will that be and how, like, that's something that we'll be dialing in, getting a lot of feedback on and all that. So, but the whole XP chaining thing, we've definitely considered that, like whatever that combo system is for that 11 had with XP chaining. I think that's interesting. I don't know if it really has a place in Pantheon. Oh. No, we are not going to go that route. We did that. We actually tried that before, where the idea there is like no matter what level you are, and even con always gives you the same amount of experience. We tried that, and I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it. We had to roll that back. Yeah, I need to see bigger numbers when I'm higher level. There's just a dissonance to it for me that I couldn't get past. Dude, I am like, we are rolling. That dude's running around with a blade of carnage, so he's probably gonna, yeah, he's probably gonna call dibs on whatever he finds. Ooh, this is a name, isn't it? It's also chevron. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's like, well, I can probably kite it. Oh. Oh. Come on. I'm exhausted. I'm Dude. We've got this, men. Yeah, I don't think this would have been doable solo. Oh, we do have talisman on the target now though, so. Ooh! Get it, Glorf. I don't have withdraw and engage yet, but I am gonna just kind of like manually joust here for a second. Big damage. Now we're getting into the big damage. And what is this thing gonna drop? Like coagulated bear tallow? Dude, the sound of a ranger. Sound of ranger combat is like concerningly satisfying. Bare blood and a tattered pelt. What more could we ask for? What is my archery at? I mean, they're pretty... Okay. feel like I'm having... Glorf! No! You will not fall on my watch, Glorf. Yeah, this is what something 4 levels above you without any debuffs, buffs, things like that. Hey, what's going on, Essen? Good to see you, man. It's a thing. I just want to see what this thing drops. I don't remember. Yo, take care, Corin. Thanks so much for hanging out, man. We'll catch you soon. Shredding. Guys, we are shredding this thing. It is being deleted. What's up, infantry? Love your game. Just ventured into BRK from HC for the first time and had a blast. Nice. Oh, that's a cool area. That's awesome. Really cool to hear, infantry. Thanks for saying hey. Glorf is a... What is... are you a... warrior or... Glorf. Paladin. Yes, she is paladin. Oh yeah, I just saw the... Yeah. Kylo's like, what are these nerds doing? Get ready for that guzzled, greasy beef tallow. Dougbug, take care, my friend. Thanks for hanging out. Deleted. This massive bear paw seems unique with long, sharp claws. Perhaps the huntress would be interested in it. That's some silver right there. Cool. Okay. Worth? Worth. Big worth. Really excited about the stability and progress we've seen the past months. Right on. Good to hear us, and I'm really glad to hear that. Is there a clear definition of your intended art style, something that stands on its own? That's... Stylized realism is, I think, the best way to put it, the best way to think about it. We've gotten a lot of inspiration from the Arcane, like the Riot Arcane series, with their kind of hand-painted art style, good like kind of layer of grit. So yeah, stylized realism really is, I think, the best way to put it. Evening, my friend. I am waiting to see when you all are doing the wipe and introducing those other skills later on. That is coming, Red, that's coming in the spring. We have not announced a specific date for it yet. We will as we get closer, but that is planned for this coming spring. All right. I'm going to head back to the town, guys. I'm going to try and ding as I do. Hello there. No details on mail yet, AK. We're going to talk about mail, the mail system, in detail when it coincides with a dev diary that we're going to put out on it. Nice, Fred. Awesome to hear, man. Thanks for popping in. Yeah. Rabbit Dusk Bat. All right. This is going to be interesting. Not quite as high level as our bear friend, and not elite, so should be good. Maybe. Oh, maybe not. It's the last thing we need is reduced hit rating on this. Whew. And with the damage shield, I don't really want to kite it, because that's going to be our main source of damage right now. We might have to go. We might have to run. Oh! Yeah, this is like OG power living right here. Thank you, guys. Okay, cool. That makes sense, especially since you have a clear example. Just don't want to see you guys fall into the pitfall of splitting the difference. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we definitely want, you know, to have a good recognizable art style, and it's definitely not going to make like the realistic purists happy, because it's not going to be true realism. But we definitely want to embrace the stylized realism. I think it just works really well, and it comes with the massive benefit of like a faster pipeline, you know, more performant game, like, you know, not needing all of the bells and whistles that realism ultimately needs to read. Job, I just want to say there's so many people I know that's so proud and excited for everything that's coming with Pantheon. Your work is being noticed, and can't wait to adventure Terminus. Yo. Boy, Johnny boy, thank you so much. That's all. It's really, really, really good to hear messages like that, man. Thank you. Very cool. There we go. This should ding us. Gonna actually run towards the village while we fight, just to making our way. Yeah, much smaller footprint than a lot of UE5 games, huh? No, I mean, our footprint will grow. I mean, it will grow, but yeah, it's not gonna Not gonna rival that. Cool, Cascool. That's awesome to hear. Glad it is hitting. Ding. Let's go take a look. You know, what's fun is, like, I bought all these spells. Did I put them on my bar? No. Have I used Frey once? No. I haven't. But we're not going to talk about that. You know? There we go. We just don't need to talk about it. You know? The curses in Gorgon. We need to take a look at those, huh? They're pretty weird, right? Like, they're pretty... Some of them are pretty goofy, yeah? Yo, thank you, AK. Take care, man. Do a little climbing. You want to talk to whoever designed that horsetail? You mean because you want to thank them profusely and tell them how happy you are? I understand. I understand, Essen. You want to give them your unbridled accolades. I understand. Oh, yes. See? That's... I'm getting hooked on this class, guys. We just got our first druid magic. Druidic magic. And I know. I just indiscriminately deleted everything. That's okay. Some of that stuff probably sells for gold right now. To players. That's, you know, I'll have to deal with that later. Right now. Ooh. Oh. Dude. Ooh. Ooh. It's exciting. Where's the, oh, the Huntress. We were just at that's right. It's the Huntress. Let's go get some more, coin. The Huntress. Amazing to think that such a magnificent animal is roaming through and fast all this time. Not anymore. Not anymore. All right. Cool. And it was a swift, clean kill as well, Huntress. You would have been proud. Literally deleted. Yeah. My friends, that is going to be a wrap for me. It's going to be a wrap. We're going to be back on Monday next week. Assuming everything continues as it is. We will be in patch week next week. We're going to have a lot to look at, a lot to talk about. My goodness. It's actually a pretty big deal patch. So excited about that. I'll see you guys again on Monday. Usual time. Between 11 a.m., 12 p.m. Pacific, 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern is typical time. So, would love to see you back here. We'll be back at that point, and we'll keep cooking. Guys, thank you so much to my in-game friends. Thank you for the buffs. Thank you for the group again. That was awesome. And to all of you here hanging out, thanks again so much for the support and the excitement. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really fun, you know, this journey to launch, but also even just this short little journey to spring. Very excited. So thanks for being a part of it, guys. Thanks so much. Take care. Have a good rest of your day. Have an awesome weekend. I will see you on the Monday. Farewell, my friends. Till then, adios.